Hi, hello, welcome back or welcome in. On this channel, I share my writing journey, which includes planning, plotting, writing vlogs, guides about the writing platforms I've already tried, and also our subject matter for today. It's been a while since I've spoken about book covers on this channel. Well, I am here today to continue with the Photopea series. Also, just a side note about this, I can't wait to be done with the basics and one by one feature explanation so that I can finally move on to creating an example of a book cover using everything I've gone over in this series. So, if you think that what I do here interests you, then subscribe and join me on this adventure. Anyways, in the previous part, the last thing I'd explored was the layer section from the menu. That was where I felt I should stop, so today I'd like to proceed with the next one in line. At first glance, a lot of these features will seem skippable. In fact, like I said before, this entire series at multiple points might seem skippable, but that's the trap. There are many features that you won't know you need until you try them. Hell, you might even get inspired to take your project in a specific direction based on one of them. So, the first section is as basic as can be. I use it so often going by these keyboard shortcuts. All is to select all, basically everything, with the combination of keys Control plus A. Deselect is to simply drop the selection with Control plus D. And then there is invert. Basically, if you select an object or an image or a project, you can invert the selection. Let me give you a simple example here. I select the bird on this image. Now, I want to create a mask. Great, I masked the background. But say I wanted to keep the background and instead cut out the bird. Let me press Ctrl Z to go back towards the selection. Remember, this is something we saw in a previous tutorial. And once we have the selection, you invert it, then click on the mask button. Ta-da! For this next section, you will need to turn off ad blocker if you have yours on, as the first feature is premium. However, they allow you to unlock it at least once if you agree to watch a short ad. I watched their ad and voila! This is a quick way to cut out an object or a character that you want to work on. Now, is it perfectly perfect? No, but we can make adjustments to it when time comes. The second feature is color range. This one is ideal to use in order to select a subject when the background is mainly a simple color. After all, its purpose is to select a color or a range of colors. Let's go back to our bird. I want to select the color of these boards around him, so I just click on the boards. Then I play with the fuzziness until I obtain a result I want. Look here, the bird is distinguishable enough from the background, so I'll click OK. Now, if I click on mask directly, it'll just mask the bird, so I have to invert selection and then mask. And ta-da! It is far from perfect, but I masked almost all of the colors around him, so yeah. Let me go for a simpler background to show you the potential of it. I put another background behind the silhouette and I will attempt to remove the white around the woman. And hop, gone. Now, of course, the white from the glasses also vanished, but we can bring it back by painting white on the mask. You notice there is a stretch of white that remains here around her. That is something we can take care of later. Next is Magic Cut. And this one, I love it. Let's pick an image. It does not work for every image, but when it does, it's like magic. When you click on it, you get this panel here with a brush parameter, 3 colors, and a border. The green is for what will appear. The gray is to erase the modification, and the red is to mask or erase depending on what you've picked. Sometimes the cutting will be perfect from the start. You simply select raster mask layer and your mask is done. But other times you'll see that you need to make some modifications. You pick green for what you want to appear, red for what you want to mask, and make sure the green and red never meet. If they do, then erase their connection with the gray color. Now, for subject. Its purpose is to select the subject, but since it is a premium feature, you can either pay or watch an ad to unlock it. And frankly, it does a good enough of a job. I truly like it. In this section, we have refine edges, which, like its title says, it refines or betters the edges. First, I make a rough selection of what I want, then click Refine Edges. So, similarly to Magic Cut, a new window will appear. On this side, you have the work window, and then here is the preview. This is the brush you will be using. We can adjust it based on what we're working with. Then we have these colors again. The white is for the things that you want to keep, the black is for what you want to mask, and the gray is what refines the edge. It works well with hair and little details. Next up, we got a bundle of features under Modify. First, we have border. We need to make a quick selection to see what it does. And we click on border and change its thickness. What it does is create a selection border around the subject. And if we mask it, here is the result. Only what is inside the border stays. But if you like the opposite, then after making the border selection, go over to inverse and ta-da! Right after it, we got smooth. This smoothens or takes details off your selection. Here's the result if you choose a higher number and click mask. Right after that, we have expand and contract, which do the exact opposite of each other. One expands the selection around the subject, and the other reduces it. Feather creates this sort of fading effect around the subject. In the next section, we have grow and similar. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't use these two, and to this day, I don't understand them all that much. All I know is they relate to the tolerance of Magic Wand tool. So, like they select similar pixels around the piece of image you picked. Other than that, I don't know what else to add. In this section, we only have transform selection, which acts exactly like image transform. So first you select to what you want and then you play with the selection. Make it bigger or smaller and then do whatever you want with it. Here is the quick mask tool. If you want to activate this feature, you may simply click on Q. You'll notice it colors your layers to remind you that you are in quick mask mode. So you can use it by picking the brush tool and painting on what you want to select. Once you're done, you simply click on Q again. You'll get a selection and then you can do whatever you want with it. Another way you might use it is by creating a rough selection and then click Q. After that, you simply refine your selection with a brush tool, with a black color to mask and white to go backwards and erase the mask. In the last section, we have load selection and save selection. So first, let me create a selection. Then I'll save it and give it a name. After that, I go on to work on my project, but somewhere down the road, I decide that I want to use the old selection again. For that, I simply pick load selection and look for the title of the selection I've saved earlier. And that's it. Okay, so since there is so much to go over in the filter section, I'd like to give it its own video. Also, I'd like to keep these shorter from now on. I feel like smaller bites go down easier. Alrighty then. I do hope this was helpful, and if you liked it, then maybe leave a like or a comment or subscribe if you think my content is what you've been looking for. I do hope to see you in the next video. But until then, please take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye-bye.